Yes. It is 11 a.m. Board of Education meeting is called to order. First up is approval of the agenda for the March 24th Board of Education meeting. And
Moved.
Brad Serkin moves. We need
Raymer, David, you got to help out.
Second.
Raymer Flynn has seconded it. Roll call vote for everything today. So Michael Christensen.
Aye.
Raymer Flynn.
Aye.
Brad Serkin.
Aye.
David Whitkin.
Aye.
Brad Waller. Aye. We have no closed session today, so this is back continuing the open session. First up is Pledge of Allegiance by myself. So we will all stand and see if this works, because I'll be cut off. Let's see. There we go. Hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
Pledge allegiance
And to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We should have just had you do it, Brad.
Yeah. I'll try not to make everybody dizzy as I readjust the view. But I think that's better than just showing off bottom half of my body while I do the credits. We have no closed session report because there is no closed session. Which brings us to approval of the minutes from the March 10th, 2020 Board of Education meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Michael Christensen.
Aye.
Raymer Flynn.
Aye.
Brad Serkin.
Aye.
David Whitkin.
Aye.
Brad Waller says aye. That is unanimous. Approval of the agenda. was already done. We just heard that. It was moved by Brad Serkin, seconded by Raymer Flynn, which brings us to reports to the board. I have no report from Sergio sent to me, so I am assuming that we don't have a student board member report, which brings us to Stephen Keller.
Real briefly, thank you to the board for your leadership. Thanks to the management committee. Thanks to our labor partners. Thanks to our parents. Thanks to our kids for being patient. And we are absolutely preparing for the day when our children and families return. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Keller. Brings us to our hearing section. I'm going to waive the reading of the hearing stuff because there are no members of the public here at the moment. I have no advanced written requests, and just in case there is somebody downstairs, because we have this meeting set up with a downstairs waiting area with a monitor where people can see and sign in and get their agenda cards, I will basically call for anyone who wishes to speak and come on upstairs if there is anybody. And while they're walking up the stairs, I will move on to the communications, and we can come back if a member of the public does there. Do we have, again, in the audience, it's a very sparse audience, very socially distanced audience. We don't have anybody from our groups here, but in case they are downstairs or around, I'll call up all their names. WH Teachers Association, CSEA, AFT, and PTA. I have a text here that I will read from Sandy Foley, the Redondo Beach Council PTA president. Sandy would like to say, and I'll say this in my best Sandy voice, a huge thank you to Dr. Keller and all the administrators, teachers, and staff who have rallied to provide online learning to our students so quickly and effectively. PTA is here to help, and as always, if RBUSD needs anything, please reach out to us and we will be there in a flash. We would also like to invite everyone to join our PTA Council Facebook page, where we are posting educational supplements to our Learn at Home needs. Thank you, Sandy. And that brings us to Redondo Beach Ed Foundation, which I don't see here. Of course, if anybody does show up a little late, I will allow them to join us. We have 4 items on our consent agenda. Does anybody wish to pull anything from the consent agenda?
Please pull 10.1.
10.1. All right. Any others? So a motion and second for 10.2 through 10.4.
And I will move.
Second.
All right. So used to saying all in favor. So on the consent items 10.2 through 10.4, Michael Christensen, you vote.
Aye.
Raymer Flynn.
Aye.
Brad Serkin.
Aye.
David Whitkin.
Aye.
I vote aye. That is unanimous. That brings us to item 10.1. Motion and second.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of 10.1. See,
Roll call.
the roll call vote. Michael Christensen.
Abstain.
Raymer Flynn.
Aye.
Brad Serkin.
Aye.
David Whitkin.
Aye.
And I vote aye. That is unanimous. 4-0. Oh, should not have done that. All right. Action items. 12.1. Award low bidder for RUHS painting project for the auditorium, band room, and small gym to South Coast Painting.
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Alpern.
Yes, thank you. As Dr. Keller has shared, we will be open again. It's only a matter of time. And so...
Having trouble hearing Annette.
They're having trouble hearing you, Annette.
Oh,
So
that one's not working?
we had a...
Stand by.
Could you hear Dr. Keller just fine before we...
Yes, you can hear Dr. Keller.
We're using the audio from just this computer. So just speak up and we will hear you hopefully. It's just this.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Air fine.
Awesome. So as Dr. Keller has shared, we will be open again, or open, and we are continuing to work and plan for both the ongoing work as well as Sure. So what you have before you in this item is a bid for painting of the RUHS auditorium band room and small gym. The original plan was to have this painting done over the summer. However, we are able to meet requirements and we're able to get that done prior to the summer. We will do so. So we're asking to have see the bids that are attached, and we're asking you to award the lowest bidder for this project.
Any questions? Hearing none. Voting on 12.1, award for low bidder for the painting project. Michael Christensen, vote.
Aye.
Kramer Flynn.
Aye.
Brad Serkin.
Aye.
David Whitkin. Myself, aye. That is unanimous. 12.2, adopt resolution 19-20:26, attached, authorizing the issuance of general obligation refunding bonds for an amount not to exceed $65 million for the purchase of refunding up to 5 separate series of bonds of the district and approving certain other documents and matters related thereto.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. The board and staff have received the information last Friday's update pertaining to this request. We're asking you to adopt this resolution, which will authorize Dr. Keller and I to work with the bond council and the rest for the right timing around the potential sale of
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Great. Spoke to Bob Whalen, our bond attorney, earlier in the week. And he made it clear that this
And again,
But the approval now is important because that gives us that flexibility to time it as needed.
correct. So we're not obligating ourselves to do it. We are authorizing ourselves to do it when it's appropriate and makes sense financially. Any other questions or comments? Michael?
I did have a question and a comment just to throw out. I know we need to do our, as board members, we need to look carefully at the disclosure element of this. And there is one item that was put forward as being sure to disclose the impacts of the COVID closures on whatever we might be dealing with financially. And I want to be sure that our bond counsel has got that disclosure properly noted. I was looking for it, I didn't see it, but I'll need to dig a little further. But I want to be sure that that element has been properly disclosed.
I'll make sure we.
Yeah, it might have been written prior to that.
Yeah.
So we will do that.
You know, and you know, that disclosure I would presume would include the resolution that's would be later on in our agenda today. And then any other references to the orders that have been put forth under the emergency declarations from the county and the state.
Thank you.
Okay.
So voting on 12.2, the resolution, Michael Christensen.
Aye.
Kramer Flynn.
Aye.
Brad Serkin.
Aye.
David Whitkin. Aye. Brad Waller says aye. Brings us to 12.3. Adopt resolution R 19-20:21, reduction or elimination of particular certificated services.
So moved.
I heard a movement from Brad Waller. Do you have
Yeah, that's. So as you're aware, so this resolution is closure of the preschool program will go for the end of
Having trouble hearing that.
I can't hear any of that.
Yeah. Can you move one seat closer?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Okay,
Much better.
start over.
Yes.
I was stating that, as you've been aware, we are phasing out the preschool program at the South Bay Adult School due to the decrease in enrollment. And this resolution is due to the closure of the preschool program, which will occur at the end of the 2019-20 school year. It impacts one certificated staff member at the South Bay Adult School. We are working with that staff member who's going to serve as a substitute in the district while seeking other positions. And so we are recommending that you approve this resolution. I do also want to add on a side note, there's a instructional aide who's also part of the program, but we are already able to include her in the ESL program at the adult school. So she will continue to keep her job, same hours, same days, etc.
Any questions?
No.
All right, seeing none. Vote on 12.3, resolution for the reduction and elimination of a particular certificated services. Michael Christensen.
Aye.
Raymer Flynn.
Aye.
Brad Serkin.
Aye. David
Whitkin. Aye. Brad Waller says aye. And very much related, 12.4, adopt resolution R19-20:22, reduction or elimination of particular classified services.
Moved.
Second.
So this is coming out of our FPN, if you recall, a federal program monitoring where we needed to incorporate English language learning and intervention strategies within the instructional practices. And Madison has been working to do that. They are now incorporating the EL and intervention strategies within their instructional practices. So that's leading to 2 instructional aide positions who were formerly providing services to students at the end of the 2019-20 school year. And we've met with both of the instructional aides. They have the opportunity to take on special education aide positions as they open up, likely in the summer or hopefully before next school year. So at this point, we are recommending that you approve this resolution. It'll impact the staff members at the end of this school year.
Okay.
Any other questions? Bringing us to a roll call vote on the resolution for elimination of a particular classified services. Michael Christensen.
Aye.
Raymer Flynn.
Aye.
Brad Serkin.
Aye.
David Whitkin. Aye. Brad Waller. I say aye. 12.5, approve resolution R19-20:25, delegating authority to protect students and staff from the spread of coronavirus. COVID-19.
So moved.
Second.
So just to be clear, we have very, very crystal clear board policy language that in the event of a crisis like this, the superintendent does have the power to act accordingly, and in this case, close school. Got that confirmed from our attorney, so good work on having appropriate and up-to-date board policy. That being said, no one has asked me to add this resolution, but I thought, why not bulletproof our ADA funding as we move forward? I don't want any ambiguity by a different attorney. This is not necessary, but this is what I call a security blanket, just to keep us in line in case this is the language they want. So I bring this before you, feeling confident that we will be in the best position to maintain our ADA as we move forward.
Yeah, I think this is a smart move, Dr. Keller.
Great.
Any other discussion or questions on this? Yep, I agree. I don't know if any other schools are doing this. I haven't seen it necessarily. But, I think it's a vital thing to have in our record.
Yeah.
I know a number of the districts in the SoCal Rock JPA have done resos, so I think this is good that we're not an exception by not having one.
Correct. I agree with you, Mike.
Good. All right, so this will be the vote on the resolution delegating authority to protect students and staff from the spread of coronavirus. Michael Christensen, your vote.
Aye.
Raymer Flynn.
Aye.
Brad Serkin.
Aye.
David Whitkin. Aye. And I vote aye as well. I have no information items or discussion items on this brief agenda. I also have no correspondence. Which brings us to board member reports. Mr. Whitkin.
No report.
Mr. Christensen.
Just a huge thanks to staff on the work you're doing and the fact that you rolled out ahead of most other districts. and just a plea for all of our staff to please be safe.
Ms. Flynn.
I don't know if I'm muted. I just want to echo that I'm so appreciative that everybody is weathering these challenging times with compassion for themselves and for the staff and all of everybody that's working on the front lines to make sure that we're all safe and our children are still connected, and look out for one another. We're here if you need anything.
And Mr. Cirkin.
Not sure I could say it any better, so I'll leave it at that.
For me, last week, I believe it was last week, time kind of moves at an odd pace at the moment. There was a briefing that Almert Suchi helped organize. I called him one night when we were going through all this, and he got Supervisor Janice Hahn to call in Dr. Muntu Davis, who's actually the person who signed the LA County order. If you look at the order that was put out from the county, he's the one that signed it. Kevin McGowan, who's from the Emergency Management Office, Janice Hahn, Almert Suchi, Ted Liu, as well as representatives from the city and schools in El Segundo, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, Redondo Beach, and Palos Verdes, where we all got to have a good, open, honest discussion over communication, what's going on, what we can do to work better together. And I'm hoping that that will smooth things out for us moving forward and make things a lot easier for what we're all doing. Otherwise, again, same thing. Thank you to the parents. Thank you to the staff. Thank you to our instructors for bearing with us as we all learn and figure out what's going on. The one thing that was interesting, the emergency management person from the county, his point was, this is just like an earthquake without infrastructure damage. And so you see how people are reacting while at home, and people are shopping and buying too much stuff, all that kind of stuff is what happens. And the same thing, but just we have electricity, we have water, everything is fine. But that's kind of how the society is reacting. So hopefully that we all, that people know the water is not, there's no danger to our water, there's no danger to our electricity, there's no danger to our supply of toilet paper. Slow down, just buy what you need, go shopping once a week, practice your social distancing. If there's a crowd somewhere, just don't go there. That's why the beaches seem to have been closed. I don't know if Redondo was, but most beaches have been closed. A lot of parks are being closed because of that. When people over-congregate, the reaction will be to prevent them from going there, which forces us into smaller and smaller areas. So if you want to get out and exercise, find an uncrowded area and just stay away from other people. With that, our calendar event at this point is sort of TBD. We are closed for the next 2 weeks. We've got spring break after that, and tentatively April 28th board meeting, and reopening, you will hear from us as soon as we know the exact date. Do we have any future agenda items?
None for me.
All right. No agenda items, which brings us to adjournment at 11:21. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Michael Christensen for adjournment.
Aye.
Raymer Flynn.
Aye.
Brad Cirkin.
Aye.
David Whitkin. Aye. Myself. Aye. Thank you very much. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone.